What's going on? I'm Andrew from Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness, and you're watching SCENEzine.
Hey, we're in Sydney, Australia. This is Christian from SCENEzine, and we've got Andrew McMahon with us from Something Corporate, Jack's Mannequin, and funnily enough, he happens to be in Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness.
That's me.
Yeah, so what's it like being in Australia? You just did a Brisbane show last night. What was that like?
It was awesome. I love coming over to this part of the world. So, getting a chance to actually do that and bring the whole band with me. It's the first time I've been able to bring a band since 2012. So, yeah, last night our first night was great. Had a day off in Brisbane when we got in after our very long flight, and yeah, we're having a blast.
When you first came here way back with was it with the Offspring with Something
Yeah,
Corporate, were you shocked that there weren't kangaroos and koalas? Like, what was your first impressions of Australia?
it's funny. I remember that tour. That was it was actually kind of a pivotal tour for us. It was kind of right near the end of something corporate and kind of the beginning of the Jack's Mannequin phase of things. And I remember we all we brought golf clubs and we were golfing on days off. We had so many days off because we were touring with a band like the Offspring that was huge. So I remember we had a lot of time in each city. So it was actually a lot of fun and got to explore and did the zoo. We saw that we got to see the kangaroos and koalas in the zoo basically. But yeah, I was not surprised not to see them everywhere, I suppose.
So we lived up to your expectations.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get the impression that they were like running across the street or anything like that. But I swear I think we did see a kangaroo on a golf course. I'm pretty sure. Does that make sense? Would that happen? Is that okay?
Yeah, that's quite possible.
I was about to say, did I invent that in my mind? It's possible. I just told my friends back home. Yeah.
So today being August 22nd, tomorrow's August 23rd,
Yeah.
which is quite a huge day for you. Can you just take us through? Obviously, it's 10 years since something quite huge happened.
Yeah.
Can you take us through that and the 72K challenge that has just been launched through the DJAC campaign?
Yeah. So, well, yeah, this is tomorrow will be the 10-year anniversary of me getting a stem cell transplant for my sister. So that was effectively, day one of my remission and my treatment or part of my treatment with for my leukemia. And as a result of that, I started an organization called the Dear Jack Foundation. We advocate for adolescents and young adults with cancer, which is a huge population, people ages 15 to 39 years of age that are really underserved in the cancer community. And we thought, as sort of a way to commemorate this 10-year anniversary, we would try and raise $1 for each of the 72,000 newly diagnosed adolescents and young adults this year. So that's what we set out to do. I'm proud to say that in our first day, I think we did somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000. So we're well on our way. It's a campaign we're going to host through the end of the year here, but certainly if anybody's interested in supporting it, just dearjackfoundation.com.
It must be kind of surreal that a lot of bands right now are doing 10-year reunion tours and you're celebrating a different kind of 10 years.
Yeah, it's funny too because it actually 10 years ago, on the 23rd, Everything in Transit by Jack's Mannequin came out on that day. So I have a lot of people pestering me to go do an anniversary tour, and I totally I respect it. We'll probably do some shows in the new year, but I have to say it's pretty exciting to be at the 10-year and actually have new music out that's doing well and be in the position to come out here and play, a combination of the older material and a bunch of brand new songs too.
During your battle, there must have been a lot of hard times. What advice can you give to people right now going through illness, whether it be cancer or anything similar at all?
My number one piece of advice is to breathe. I know that sounds crazy, but a huge part of my recovery and sort of coming to peace with what I was going through was I did a version of yoga. Obviously physically I wasn't in the best place to be doing anything too crazy, but I did a lot of meditating and a lot of breath work. And just try my best, through that to keep a positive attitude. I feel like that's a huge part of making a recovery is believing that you'll get there and breathing through it and trying not to let the anxiety of it eat you up too much.
It seems like fast forward to now, you're in a much better place, a beautiful wife and a beautiful daughter. Uh, what's fatherhood like currently for you?
It's awesome. This is actually the toughest thing about this trip is the fact that I'm away from them, which is not something that I've done too much since Cecilia was born. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to kind of be on the other side of it and have this amazing new life in my life. And yeah, we're doing great. And I don't sleep a lot, but I didn't really sleep a lot before she got here. So I think it's not too much of a trade off in that respect.
Is it a plan in mind to teach her piano and vocals, or
Yeah, I'll teach her whatever she wants to learn. It's not something we push, but obviously there's a lot of music in our house, and she's toured with me a ton at this point. In her first 6 months on Earth, she spent 4 of them in a tour bus. So she's got a lot of rock and roll uncles, and has been at a lot of shows. So I wouldn't be surprised if she starts picking something up. She already kind of bangs on the keys of the piano a little bit, but I'll leave that to
if you were to do a mixtape for her to
her.
introduce her to some music that you really love, like what do you think you'd throw on there?
Oh gosh, I mean, we already have sort of these mixes. That I mean, I had a mix that we played to her in the womb. We had a lot of stuff on there. There's a song by Phosphorescent that she was obsessed with. This song called "Song for Zula." There's a lot of Neil Young and Paul Simon. I tried to give her background on a lot of the classic kind of singer songwriters.
Your latest project, Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness, it's it's very layered with its sounds and definitely got a synthesizer in there.
Yeah.
Was that on purpose to distance it from the other two main products you're known for, or was that something you had in mind all along?
Uh, I mean, it wasn't. I don't think there was. I don't think the goal was necessarily distance from other projects. I think my goal with every record I make, I mean, even from album to album within a certain band or project that I've worked on, I like the idea of evolution and creating a new sound and a new texture to sort of surround these melodies and lyrics. And I think in a lot of ways it was a reflection of of music I was listening to at the time, and this freedom to not have a real commitment to a sound. There was no like, this is what Andrew McMahon sounds like. It was sort of like, if you listen to Jax and something corporate that sort of spans so many different styles, that I felt like it left me in a position to kind of experiment a little bit, and that was sort of the motivation behind taking some turns and twists in the production.
Since the album's been out for a while now, have you found yourself falling in love with a certain song on the album, or the audience connecting with a certain song that may have surprised you before getting to play it live?
I mean, Maps for the Getaway is one song that was kind of the last song written for the record, and that's been one that's been fun to see people's reactions to. You know, I think any of the songs like Canyon Moon and Cecilia, you get to those moments and you're playing a new record, and a lot, especially in new countries and things where we have no idea what people, what the temperature is out here as far as new music versus old music. So seeing people react to those songs last night when we got out here was really exciting.
Going way back in time now, the Summit Corporate days.
Yeah.
One of our personal favorite songs is Punk Rock Princess.
Oh yeah.
Can you just take us back to the moment when you guys wrote that song, and did it come easily?
I'm trying to remember the exact writing process. I mean, the original song was a piano ballad called Heroin, and it was this very moody, stark piano song. And I do remember the day that we sort of were in the rehearsal space doing like pre-production, and we had met the Jim, who went on to produce all the Something Corporate records as well as the first couple Jack's Mannequin records, and we were playing him sort of all the material that we had for the first EP that would be the audio box EP for Something Corporate, and we had this piano ballad, and I remember him going, "What if we did it double time? We did it like a big band song." And I remember just being and him just kind of throwing out that beat idea and going, wow, okay, this is now like kind of a rock song. But uh, but yeah, sometimes it pops back in the set as a ballad.
Lastly, right around the corner is early September.
Yeah.
Two big things for you coming up. It's your birthday,
Mhm.
and it's also Riot Fest Chicago, which
Oh
you'll
yeah,
be playing. Are you excited for both of those things?
I am. It's I love the festivals. Going out and playing, big outdoor shows is huge for me. And then, yeah, of course, the birthday. I'm always down to throw a party. So I think I get to spend it in Hawaii this year. So it'll be a glamorous birthday. Most of it will probably be on an airplane, but we'll stop off and have a drink once we land.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Andrew, and
Yeah.
yeah, have a great show tonight in Sydney.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.